Hoy there, it's Skyward Shield. Welcome to Football Talks. We're in week 2 of the NFL, and my god, so many things happened. It's not even funny. I'm here again with everyone's favorite, the Sample Man. Say hello,
Hey,
Bill.
hey, I be the sample man. What up, everybody?
We have a lot to talk about, but I'm going to open up with something interesting. For those of you who have Tumblr, you have no doubt seen it. The Madden Giferator. I will have some gifs being shown, including my most favorite post, probably about now. And I'm not going to read it. I'm just gonna leave it there for you to read as I scroll through some of it. But anyway,
Oh man,
it I showed Bill. He knows about it. And, oh yes, nothing satisfies me more than messing with the Super Hulock fandom. But anyway, I'll have this and a few others. But this exploded about a week ago, before the games even started. I want to say after or before the Thursday night football game with the Seahawks and Green Bay, which we all know how that turned out, thankfully.
I was seeing it about 2 days before, right about when we recorded that. I was starting to see the first ones.
Yeah, and then they made their way on Tumblr a day or so later, and that's when I started. I woke up one morning seeing them, and my god, it was hilarious. I'll have some of my favorite ones showing up in a few moments, but yeah, trust me, these are hilarious, and I'm enjoying them. I'm not the biggest fan of memes, though that's probably bullshit, and you all know it, but it's football, and I remember this is like the epitome of irony right here. Okay, Bill. Somebody a few days before, when I reblogged something about J.J. Watt getting that contract, somebody was saying, "Man, it's so weird and stupid when people talk about football on here." And then, BAM! This comes and takes everything by storm.
Oh man, seriously, I was reading a few of them, and oh man, just so funny. I can remember like one of them saying like something or rather is garbage.
Oh yes, my favorite was
Oh.
Risei's Trash Tier Waifu, which I'll probably have that now. But anyway, yeah, that's become a thing. Get used to it. I'm loving it. I hope you guys like it, for those that
Oh
like
man.
football. But anyway, let's move on to the actual games. So,
Ooh, man.
the biggest thing, a lot of upsets. I'm pretty sure we all saw one or another, but my god, some of these were satisfying to me.
The-
Which one do you
we
want to talk about first, Bill?
I think we should talk about the biggest upset of the week. And in my personal opinion, it's the Buffalo Bills defeating the Chicago Bears.
Oh yeah.
And to be honest, the Chicago Bears offense should have really put their foot on the throat of the Buffalo defense, and really, Buffalo put up a fight. They put up a big time fight, and it really surprised me because, you know, Chicago's a good offensive team, but one major injury that could have affected that game, and injuries are not an excuse, so, but I mean, it could have affected it, so that way they could roll coverage towards Brandon Marshall. The injury to Alshon Jeffrey, where Alshon Jeffrey was not on the field, having two 6'5", wide receivers on the field at the same time that have amazing, football skills, is a good thing. And when one of them's gone, and you can roll coverage towards the other one, and then you're relying on your tight end to make all these catches, it's a upset in the making, and you saw what Buffalo did. They really controlled the game in both phases.
In Soldier Field, no less. That's good.
In Chicago, so the NFC North looking very nice, and very nice for me. I'm really enjoying that upset because that was a fun thing to watch.
But here's the question though. Was this a one-hit wonder for them, or is this gonna keep going? I don't think we have an answer to that, but only speculation. But I think next game can answer that a little bit for us.
Oh man.
But we'll talk about that when we get to the picks.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo. If Buffalo plays like they played against Chicago all year, they're going to be a scary team in the AFC East. And who would have thought that? Because their defense is decimated with injuries right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, anything's possible in the NFL, and a bunch of those young players are really, really hungry, and you gotta give it up to the Buffalo Bills and those poor fans in Buffalo. Speaking as a Detroit fan, the Buffalo fans, I know that you haven't been in the playoffs since like 1999. I sympathize with you, and I hope you guys do it, man.
They really lost. It's them and the Cowboys. They both fallen from their standards from when they were in their prime. You know what I mean?
Right. The Buffalo Bills, ever since they made the Super Bowl 4 straight years and lost all 4 straight years, I really hope that they can go in and win one. That franchise really deserves one.
Yeah.
You know?
But a lot of franchises deserve one, even the ones we don't like.
Exactly. You know one that doesn't need one for another 10 years? Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, they have a 6-pack of them.
Or Green Bay.
Or New York, because I don't think they deserve them at all. I mean the Giants, of course. Which we'll get to the Giants game later. So Bill, what's the next upset on the list? We've got 2 more, I think.
It is the next upset that I thought was a really good game is the New Orleans Saints getting defeated by the 2-14 Atlanta Falcons.
That's another team that I believe doesn't deserve a fucking Super Bowl trophy, and that's the Saints. Falcons, they kind of earned one. They've kind of earned one already, especially if they can knock off the Saints in such a good way. It's a shame I didn't get to see that guy cry, though, or be sad. What's his name? The coordinator used to be the Cowboys.
Rob Ryan, Rex Ryan's brother.
They're brothers?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
They both... Well, no wonder you like seeing them suffer, because they're brothers. They suffer in such hilarious ways. I remember when the Patriots knocked off the Saints, and that was fun.
Well, another reason why I kind of dislike both the Ryan brothers is that their dad was a dickhead and was the defensive coordinator of the Bears for the 1985 Bears defense. And granted, he had the best defense of all time, the 85 Bears, but he was a giant douchebag.
Oh, God, it's one of those where you like him as the coach, but you hate him as the person.
Yeah, he was a giant douchebag. Him and Mike Ditka actually got in a fight. The head coach.
Was it live? Was it on?
No, but Mike Ditka in the locker room, stories have been told that he actually punched a locker and broke his hand.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't punch a locker. It's made of metal.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, that game was something. I was...
Yeah.
Oh.
That game... 4 lead changes in the 4th quarter.
That's
so good, and then it got tied, and it went to overtime.
And then that interception, kind of. Was it an interception or fumble at the end?
It was an interception off the hands of... I think it was a reception then a fumble by Marcus Colston, actually.
He was mad. I saw him throw his helmet on the floor. He slammed it.
Yeah, he went very unsaint-like on that Saints helmet. Holy crap!
Oh, that was bad. I felt bad for him. They're gonna blame him back when he gets home, or he's already home.
Oh yeah, I mean, but to be fair, he deserves the blame for it. You gotta hang on to the football,
especially in overtime.
In the NFL, you gotta hang on to the football.
Oh
yeah. There was.
There were so many problems. I think they actually admitted that they had caused a lot of problems on their own side, but oh man, that was truly a spectacle, and I just loved how it ended. I'm not a fan of the Falcons, not really, but it was just satisfying for them to beat someone after a long time, and against the Saints, no less, somebody I really dislike. But
And it might continue that trend of no team winning that division 2 years in a row. No team, ever since this division has been instituted in 2002, no team in that division has won that division 2 years in a row.
really?
And last year, the New Orleans Saints won that division. The year before that was the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh
The year
wow.
before that was New Orleans.
Wow,
So,
I did not know that. But oh well. So next, what's the last upset we got?
the last upset, and probably, arguably, could be considered one of the biggest upsets of the week, the Miami Dolphins knocking off the heavily favored New England Patriots.
We both said the Patriots, and I said it wasn't going to be an easy win, but it made the Dolphins made it easy against them.
I to be to be honest, I think they got a little too pass happy, did New England. They didn't run the football really well. And when you're stopping the clock and you're dropping passes and you're just not, the offense didn't seem to have any flow with it. You know, it just sort of looked like it was sputtering all over the place. It just was stop, go, and it just kept stopping more than it was going. You know, and the Dolphins are a good team. The Dolphins are a really good team, and what really surprised me was how well their offensive line played, because that offensive line is totally rebuilt from last year. Totally rebuilt.
I
So,
can agree to
I
that.
mean, really, Miami and Buffalo being all three teams in the AFC East won. The Dolphins won, the Bills won, and the Jets won. And the New England Patriots lost. This is the first time in Tom Brady's career that he's ever had sole possession of last place in the division.
Oh yeah, and then that begs the question. People keep asking this: is this a sign that the Patriots are going to fall? I believe no. I don't think it's going to collapse the way it did for, like, say, Houston or the Cowboys. But the Cowboys, they already collapsed on their way. Like, they collapsed right before the season, whereas the Texans collapsed part of the way through. You see what I mean? These guys,
Right.
I don't think they're going to do that. They have a great coach, and I have no doubt that coach is really going to put them back into shape, especially after such a bad loss to a division rival.
If New England's going to falter, they'll only falter a year, like like the Indianapolis Colts. Really, the Colts, the only year that really they had any issue is when Peyton Manning got hurt. So, and then Peyton Manning was shipped out, and they got Andrew Luck, and now they're good again. That's how I foresee what the Patriots are going
I
to
don't
do.
think Tom Brady's going to go, though. I don't think he's going to go out like that. Not yet.
I personally think that Tom Brady's going to play at least 5 more years.
I could see 4, actually, but yeah, that's good.
He's 37 years old. I can see him playing to 42.
That's fine. But I can see him up
I mean-
to 40 or 41.
I don't see him putting up 5,000 passing yard seasons anymore. But, you never know. I mean, look at what Peyton Manning's doing at 38 years old.
And he's
he
been
threw for-
injured so much.
He threw for 5,500 yards. He threw for crazy amount of touchdowns. It just, there's very few things left on. To be honest, we're seeing the two of the best quarterbacks of all time playing in the league, and we should really cherish to watch both Tom Brady and Peyton Manning while we still got them.
Because it's not good. It might be some time before he gets somebody really good, or hell, somebody might be already here and we just don't know about it. Which I think is a sign we should move on to our games.
Oh man.
Or is there anything else on the agenda before the games?
Nope, it's our games, our thoughts of our games, and who wants to go first? You?
I guess we'll go in order of the games. Let's go with since we already talked about Patriots, let's talk about Houston. That game was really a defense-oriented game for both sides.
Yeah, but that defense, your defense, the Houston Texans defense, once Jadeveon Clowney gets back from being hurt, I mean, he's out 4 to 6 weeks now.
4 to 6 or 6 entirely?
4 to 6.
Okay, yeah, because some people keep saying 6, and some people keep saying 4 to 6, so I just couldn't tell. But yeah, it's a shame that he got injured. Oh, it's not.
When Jadeveon Clowney gets back, you already saw the havoc that Clowney and J.J. Watt were causing.
Yeah, and even when Merciless had to step in, which I like Whitney Merciless a lot, by the way. So good to see him back in there. But I think he got a sack on Robert Griffin III too. They weren't even sacking him. Sometimes they would hit him right after he threw the ball.
And this brings me to my next point: is what in the world is wrong with the Washington football team?
Yeah.
What is the matter with them?
They did not protect RG3 well. I remember when Peyton Manning went up against the Texans, he had a rough start because they kept hitting him after he threw the ball. And he didn't like that. He's like, why wasn't the line protecting him like he should? Once he got his groove on, then it didn't matter. But I think that happened to RG3 too. He just wasn't showing it as much emotionally. Because he kept getting hit, and even if you don't sack him, it wasn't a sack, that's still going to affect him.
The Houston Texans are in a perfect position right now. They have 2 good wide receivers. They have a good running back. They have an acceptable quarterback. And they have a good defense. They are going to be much better this year. It's only a matter of time. And once you have Clowney back, you have Cushing, you have J.J. Watt.
Got Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is probably going to be the best wide receiver at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. He's got a good mentor figure right above him with an Andre Johnson.
Exactly.
He got that. It was a really good touchdown, but my God, I mean, I'm sorry, Bill, but can we just keep talking about the defense for the Texans? J.J. Watt lived up. He was proving that he was worth the $100 million. No, it's like they kept using this expression that it looks like he's going to make it look like they are underpaying him. But I mean, oh God, that's.
And J.J. Watt didn't come into work wearing no suit. He came into work. He was just all business, casual attire, and he was like, "Yeah, let's get this. Screw this. Who cares about some stupid suit? Time to go in a t-shirt and just rip people apart. No suit, no pansy suits. You know, just go for it. Go for it and rip people. That's why I like seeing. I want to see people, ripping apart stuff.
That's a good football game. But this brings me to the next thing. Do you remember his statistics and what he did that game? He got one or two sacks on RG3. He got a lot of hits on him, even when he did throw it. Oh, but right. That reminds me. Did you see some of the bad calls that they made on DJ Swearinger? Where he got, they called him for that, what do they call it? When he hit RG3, they said that they flagged him for it.
He's going to have that same. He's going to have the Ndamukong Suh effect, where he's going to be labeled a dirty player and just get flags thrown against him for no reason whatsoever.
That was a bad call, and they've always been doing that to him. I mean, yes, sometimes he did deserve the flags, as much as I hate to say it. But that one, it's like, come on. I mean, they didn't get to score off of it. I don't believe so. But that was terrible. I didn't like that. But anyway, back to J.J. Watt. What he did. Oh, and Swearinger did do great that game too. And that's why I like him. But J.J. Watt also blocked the extra point when they did score. That was great. I loved that.
Oh man!
And he blocked some passes too. I think he blocked the one of the last drive too. I don't remember.
Damn.
That was great.
Yeah, he's just got that knack. He's got that knack as being a amazing defender.
Isn't it amazing that for once, this is rare, that a defensive player is the icon over the quarterback or some receiver like Calvin Johnson or Des Bryant? No, he's the icon for the Texans. I know. What?
I would agree with you there, actually.
Whether you like him or not, depending on what teams you like, you got to admit he's a role model for defensive players alike. Whether you're in the NFL, high school, or college, whatever, he's a role model. He's one of the best figures to represent defense, in my opinion. And the dog's barking. Wait, hold on a sec. Yeah. Sorry about that, but okay, Bill, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that when you think Houston Texans, you think of two players. J.J. Watt and Arian Foster.
I think Andre Johnson might not be there after this year. I just get that feeling he wants to quit and do something more.
I'm getting the vibe that he wants to go to a team that's be a title contender.
Yeah.
Like New England or Denver.
Oh, I don't want to see another
that.
player I like go to Denver. I don't like Denver that much. They're a good team. I'll give them that, but no.
It's Peyton Manning, the Peyton Manning effect.
Yeah, everybody wants to go to Denver because it's just it's a bandwagon thing, not just fans but players alike. He's got that effect now.
You want to play with Peyton Manning. He just makes everyone around him better.
I know.
But
I don't know. But if the Texans can somehow make the playoffs, I think maybe he'll consider staying, especially if they get a really good record. You know what I mean?
Very possible. Very possible.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but who knows? Maybe as the season goes along, our thoughts can change. But of course they are. But yeah. There were the last thing I wanted to point out is that there were so many problems. This game looked like a close game, but really there should have been a lot more points on the board. And if you made every error become a touchdown, because a lot of them were where it would have been a touchdown, the Redskins should have won that, probably. Maybe.
The Redskins are still not a very good football team. They just don't know how to play football right now.
It's bad. But
it's very tough to have lackluster play at the quarterback position. Even though he completed 72% of his passes, he's not progressing to what a third-year quarterback should do.
And you know what's scary? I think he's also under pressure because he knows that other guy behind him is ready to take that spot. He is ready to get that spot from him.
To be honest, I don't really care either way.
I won't care because I just want Cowboys to beat the Redskins. You know? Let's go on to another team that's from the Cowboys division. Or actually, let's go to the Cowboys. You fine with that?
I'm fine.
Bill, you said that game was that was better than you expected?
Yeah.
I thought it was bad for the Cowboys.
I'm going to put it kind of bluntly. I expect the Cowboys to be down by at least 2 touchdowns in the first quarter every game. Except for this one.
The one that's coming
week.
up.
But
yeah.
That's for later. But I expect the Cowboys to be down 2 touchdowns every game, and that Tony Romo's going to have to be throwing like his life depended upon it, and he's going to make poor decisions like he was making in the San Fran game. I mean, he was down already He was already down a touchdown because of DeMarco Murray fumbling. So he tries to make a boneheaded throw because he's trying to bring the team back, and then gets picked off. And it's just a common theme with Tony Romo, and I think I mean, look at what happened after the game. They were already starting to blame Tony Romo for their loss. That loss is on the defense. That loss is if they played better than they should have played against San Fran's offense. But I mean, seriously, you can't give up touchdown passes to a quarterback that had issues throwing touchdown passes last year.
He didn't even score that much. Most of the scoring was because of turnovers.
Exactly, turnovers, and Colin Kaepernick's throwing the football on you. You cannot allow Colin Kaepernick to throw the football. If Colin Kaepernick's throwing the football, I mean, he's still learning the quarterback position. You cannot allow it. It's just unacceptable for the Cowboys defense to do that.
And you know what? I think this is going to show that Michael Sam is going to be, if not this game, next game. I see him being in the game, and I think he's going to change it. Not by a lot. He's not going to. I don't know if he'll be the next J.J. Watt tier or anything like that, but he's going to change the defense a little bit. I wouldn't say it's a good change that will fix everything, but just a start. You know what I mean? He's going to be the start of the change.
Right. I hope for the Cowboys' sake that they find a way to stop it, but I just, with the division they're playing in and the teams that they're facing, I am really afraid when the Cowboys are going to play the Philadelphia Eagles to see what the Philadelphia Eagles do to them.
I know, that's going to be scary.
They play fast-paced, they have tons of weapons, and they don't stop for anybody. And that game, if Dallas plays really well, and by playing well, I mean that Cowboys are in the game thanks to the defense, that'll be a win for them.
The way I see it, the defense needs to stop. They have to force a 3-and-out. If not, they're in for a ride. And not a ride they're going to enjoy.
They need to win the first quarter, does the Cowboys defense. If the Cowboys defense wins the first quarter, they win. They'll be in every game that they play. If they don't win the first quarter and they're down 14-0, it's going to be a long, long, long day.
Just like this game showed. And you know what the scary part was, or the saddening part? Did you see the crowd in that game? It was treated like a San Fran home game, even though it wasn't. Those fans traveled to see a good game for them, and you know, they deserved it.
I mean,
as much as I hate San Fran, by the way, I really hate that team.
I would put it this way: do you think it's more Dallas fans showing Jerry Jones that they're not going to tolerate a team that has no defensive capabilities? And it might be just Dallas fans going, you know what, Jerry Jones, come on. You got rid of DeMarcus Ware. You got rid of all of our beloved defensive players.
You got rid of my favorite Miles Austin, you bastard. I don't know.
And what do you have in return? Nothing.
Nothing.
It might be just Dallas fans kind of, having a silent protest for, Jason Garrett is a mediocre head coach. He didn't really deserve to stay, and I see things going really badly.
People are really already questioning. Well, they've been questioning before. What am I talking about? But they're questioning if he's going to make it. Not to the end of the season. I mean, like halfway, like the former Texans coach.
I don't see it. I I think he's got about 6 games.
You better change it within that time limit if for his sake. I hope so, Commander, for your sake. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am, but yes, there were so many problems with the Cowboys slipping up and Romo making some hasty moves, but all in all, it's always the same case. You are quick to blame Romo, which for the interceptions, yes, you have to. That's his fault. He's the one throwing the ball. But
Right.
everything else, I still believe the majority goes on to the defense, like you said.
Really, it was just a poor game all around.
Everybody, I think Romo said it. Everybody was to blame, not just him. He's still taking the blame, though. He's not trying to say I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, he did.
There, two of the 3 interceptions were just poor throws by him.
Sometimes I just saw like, dude, you could have ran and got some yards, or
He had DeMarco Murray wide open a couple times,
and didn't go for
and
it.
he didn't even throw his way, didn't look his way.
But what can you do? Oh, let's change to a more optimistic note. Just to another team, the other team in the
Oh.
there was another upset. I know you were saying the Titans are probably gonna get shitted on by the Cowboys, but I don't know. They upset the Chiefs, and I did not see that coming. I did not see that one coming.
I don't know if it would. To be honest, the Titans are a decent team, and Kansas City was overrated.
I hope so, because I don't like the Chiefs either. It seems those red teams I don't like that much. I don't like San Fran. I hate San Fran. I don't
I mean,
like Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a quality organization.
I don't like the coach. That's
I
why.
just
Because he
I
used to be
just-
the
I
Eagles
just-
coach.
I just feel that people are trying to prop up the Chiefs after having just one good year. If they can repeat it,
Then it's
more
not a fluke.
power to them.
Then it's not a fluke. That's
But-
what they prove. It's not a fluke. Right?
I always wish well to Alex Smith. Alex Smith got crapped on by the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, and just to get an even
And-
worser guy, in my opinion.
And to be honest, Alex Smith is the better quarterback, and he should be in the 49ers uniform right now. They would have probably been in the Super Bowl last year, or won the Super Bowl last year, had they had Alex Smith and not Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, but let's go on to your team after so much build up.
Oh man,
I like
my
that.
my team. I am going to go out and say it. I enjoyed the everlasting crap out of that game.
Bill, that was so
That-
pleasing, not just because it was the first game, but it was against the team that's one of my team rivals.
In Detroit, the whole city was rocking the whole day. They even had to close down some of the downtown courthouse because there was no ability to park in downtown Detroit because the Tigers were playing, and then my Lions played, and they came out and just beat the pants off of the Giants.
Oh, did the Tigers win, by the way?
The Tigers did win.
Oh, that was a big day for Detroit then.
It was a very big day for Detroit.
Bill, last year, you remember that the Giants went to Detroit again. This is how it should have
Yes.
went. This should have been a mirror match of that game. And I mean, like, this game should have been how that game went. And it didn't happen. But this time they learned from their mistakes, and they taught the Giants that that was just a fluke.
I'm gonna put it this way: the first half, they came out with a roar, but they were getting tons of penalties. Second half, they had no penalties, and they buried the Giants. And this is the team. I keep saying it. That offense is scary, and if that defense plays like it did on Monday night, and it keeps it up the entire year, the Lions are going to be a very, very scary team. just look at what they were doing last night. 3 tight end sets with all 3 of their 6'5" tight ends. They have Kelvin Johnson, who's 6 foot something, and then Golden Tate, the little slot receiver that has hands that are like vices. And then you have the skilled small speedster in Reggie Bush and the big bruising back in Joique Bell. That offense. Oh my God, that offense.
They even injured Pierre Paul from the Giants, and he's a titan for them. You know what I mean, for the defense. That says something.
If the Lions can play like they played and cut out the mistakes and cut out the penalty flags and play mistake-free football, they are a legit mean and nasty menace.
They're playoff bound for sure. Playoff bound.
From what I saw, they have 90 different ways to beat you, and then their defense, which is much maligned, their run defense stopped the Giants' run game, and their pass defense stopped the Giants' passing game.
And picked them off twice. Don't forget that.
Exactly. They keep saying, oh, the Lions don't have a secondary. The Lions have a secondary. It's a good secondary. They have pros. They have pros. They have Hedebo from the Ravens. They have Rasheed Mathis from the good Jacksonville teams like 6 or 7 years ago. This team has good veterans and good spots on the defense, and who cares if they can't run fast? I want people that have, a nose for the football, and they have a nose for the football, and the team just looked good, and I hope it keeps going good.
That game
like
played
that.
exactly how I wanted it to. I had no complaints, even with the flags, because they're in the same position as the Texans. They keep getting flags when they shouldn't. But they owned up to those mistakes, and they just decimated the Giants, and I enjoyed it all.
The second half of that game was the most enjoyable thing. Seriously, if they can play like that all year, they are a serious threat to Seattle. Because how do you cover 5 wide receivers with... And I know Seattle's defense is good, and they face a similar task with the...
Didn't they get the most flags out of everybody, even more than the Texans? Yeah. But their offense just made up for it. Well, defense, I should say. Defense.
I'll put it this way. I'll go out on a limb. I'll say the Lions' offense is going to be on par with the Denver Broncos' offense.
I hope so, Bill. I hope so. But we should move on, because
we need to move on to the game picks.
Oh yeah, let's go with Thursday's game. I'm pretty sure this is a Thursday game.
Thursday game is the Pittsburgh, and it's on CBS and NFL Network.
Yes.
Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, classic rivalry. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I think they're gonna do what the Bengals did. Knock them down, make the Ravens cause errors. I think they've got something going this time around. I think they've learned to, just like the Lions. Whether as much or not, that's another story. I think the Steelers got it.
Alright. I think this is going to be one of the typical Baltimore-Pittsburgh matchups where it's going to be a brawl, a knockout fight. Someone's going to get their nose broken, and I think at the end of the game, the Steelers will come out on top in Baltimore.
Damn right.
It'll be like 17-14, though. It's not going to be high scoring.
I think there's going to be a lot of missed catches from the Ravens. But next game, let's go to Sunday.
Next game, Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills.
Oh man, I'm not sure after that first week. I don't know. But I honestly think the Dolphins are still going to have that mean offense and get it going. But I
I
could be wrong. I'm going to say Miami, but I think it's going to go into overtime.
the battle of two 1-0 undefeated AFC East teams with the New England Patriots at the bottom, and I think the Miami Dolphins will defeat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Sorry, they're Buffalo fans, I know, but I think Tannehill's taking the next step.
Oh yeah, I don't know how far he's going to go. I don't think he'll reach the highest tiers, not this time, maybe later. Like, I honestly think Stafford's going to rival Luck and maybe beyond in terms of like improvedness and greatness. I don't know.
All right.
Let's go on.
So next game, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Washington Football Team.
Oh god. Oh man. I'm going to say Jacksonville, as much as I don't want to admit it. I think the Jaguars are going to just do the same thing like with the Eagles, but they're going to stick with it. They're not going to let 34 points unanswered happen again. They're going to learn to keep it going. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. I think Jacksonville is going to come into Washington and defeat them, and I don't think Robert Griffin III is going to get a touchdown pass. I think it's going to be another 3 or 6 point output, and then the questions will really start flying.
That's bad. Poor guy. I think he just needs another team to work with, maybe. He's not a bad quarterback by any means. He just needs somewhere else, I'm guessing, but let's move on.
Right. Next up, Dallas Cowboys at the Tennessee Titans.
Oh man, after the Titans has knocked out the Chiefs, I don't know. I'm gonna go with my gut and stick with the Cowboys. I don't know if it's gonna be a easy win, but I'm just thinking the Cowboys might hold out and Romo will not be as hasty.
I can see this game being an offensive shootout because I don't think either team's defense will be able to stop each other. But I think that the Cowboys, in the end, this will be one of their 2 games that they can win this year.
What's the other?
And it's way later on in the season. I don't even remember who they're playing, but it's definitely no one in their division.
I think it was the. Oh, I thought you were saying it was the Redskins. But let's go.
It might have been Redskins, maybe once. But yeah, I see the Cowboys winning. Next game is Arizona Cardinals at the New York Giants.
Cardinals, hands down. They somehow came out and beat the Chargers when I thought the Chargers were going to win. I think I said the Chargers are going to win, whatever. So I think the Cardinals are just going to do not the same thing like the Lions. I think it might be somewhat close at first, but then the Cardinals are just going to own. Anyway, hold on a sec, Bill. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill, continue. I'm sorry about that, people.
I have 2 words. 3 words. Arizona Cardinals defense. Arizona Cardinals will defeat Eli Manning. I feel sorry for Eli, but
I don't like him at all. But yeah.
That's my pick. So next up, the New England Patriots at Minnesota.
I think the New England Patriots are really going to rebound and just show that, hey, just because we lost that first game, that doesn't mean that's going to be our whole season. They're going to really rebound and put the Vikings down in their place.
Oh, man. I just think Tom Brady's going to be coming out pissed off, and he's just going to rip apart
the
Vikings defense.
They're just going to take out an innocent bystander who had nothing to do with that.
So, Patriots. So next up, the New Orleans Saints taking on Cleveland.
Wow. Oh, man. I don't know. I really want the Saints to lose, but the Browns, they really show that they can do something when they really get down, buckle down. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. If I'm going to have to go with my gut and say the Saints. I want the Browns to win. This is another win I want to be wrong in because I hate the Saints. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Saints here as much as it pains me to say it.
Week 2, I'm going the Saints. I just think they have too much for the Browns. Even though I think the Browns defense is legit, and I think Brian Hoyer's legit, but Saints offense is just too firepower
And their
filled.
defense is still it's a little messed up as shown from last week, but they can still do something good.
All right. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, oh man, they have that they've got that ambition now, but I think it's also going to be lost like the Bills to the Bengals because the Bengals they are good. I
They
like to
are
say they are the
good.
dark horse of the team of the NFL because they can go to the I think they can go to the Super Bowl if they really put their cards right. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals. That defense is good. That offense is good. I like that quarterback somewhat. So yeah, Bengals.
I totally agree. The Bengals are pretty stacked on all fronts, and I can see them beating the
I think
Falcons.
they're a really balanced team. They've got a good blend
Yeah.
of offense and defense. That's why I think they can potentially reach the Super Bowl. Again,
All
if
right.
the cards work in their favor. But
Yep.
let's move on.
Next up, Detroit Lions at Carolina Panthers.
Oh man, this is you know how I said the Panthers are gonna win. I'm not sure now, but I think indefinitely Cam Newton's coming back.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back, and even so, even if he doesn't, that quarterback really showed I'm a worthy replacement if Cam Newton's out because he did do pretty well, even though he's a backup. But that's what backup quarterbacks should do: show that they can step up to the plate when the main guy can't come to the show. But even so, I'm starting to think that maybe the Lions can win, assuming that what you said that looks good on paper, but we have to wait and see how it looks in as it happens. But I'm gonna go with the Lions this time. I think the Lions can do it if they do exactly what I want them to do. What do you got, Bill?
I'm gonna put it this way. I think the Lions will win, and I think the Lions defense is going to strangle the Panthers offense, and Stafford and that offense is just too much for the Panthers defense, which will be out there most of the day. So Lions.
I really hope Stafford shows how much he's improved. I think this game might show it because you got two big quarterbacks going up against each other. You know it's going to be good.
Yep. Next up, St. Louis Rams at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh wow, I like this one. I actually like this game. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think the Rams are gonna try to rebound, but I mean the Buccaneers are going to be as well. But I don't know. I'm feeling the Rams again. What do you got, Bill?
And I I'm going to be on a different side this time. I really like the Buccaneers' chances in this game. I don't know if the Rams are really listening to their head coach anymore, and that team looks like it's going to be in turmoil. I really think the Buccaneers will win this game.
Hmm. I see. Well, let's go to the next game.
Next game is the Seattle Seahawks at the San Diego Chargers.
Oh. Well, you see, they have they they showed that they're good. They've still got that Super Bowl team vibe going on, but can't just dismiss Philip Rivers. That's his name, right? The quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got a
Yep.
mean arm, but I don't know. I'm not sure because I think part of me just goes on really logical that the Seahawks just gonna pave their way through this as if it's part of their plan to take the Super Bowl again. But I don't know. I think Rivers can stop him. I'm still gonna go with the Seahawks though, just because I think that feels reasonable here. I don't know.
The Seahawks are going to choke the Chargers passing game. Uh, they're scary, and they should be they stomped on the Packers, and I approve of that. So I will give them the win because of their past transgressions in defeating Green Bay.
Oh, and I know you like that game a lot.
Oh yeah.
So let's go to the next one.
Houston Texans at Oakland Raiders.
Oh, I think we know. I think J.J. Watt's gonna again prove that he's worth it on that team, worth the 100 million, if not more. Oh, and I'm gonna enjoy that. I think DeAndre Hopkins is gonna get another touchdown, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is actually gonna move around with the ball more. He's actually gonna run some yards in. I don't know about a touchdown, but he's gonna run. I'm gonna go with the Texans, obviously, not just because I'm biased, but I think they can really do something. But just don't play it risky with Bullock going up for 40-plus yard field goals. That's very risky.
My Lions picks are always typically biased, but Texans definitely. I don't see the Raiders winning, even though I think they are a much improved team.
They're just going up against really tough teams when they don't deserve it yet. They're not ready for those tiers, but
And now, the New York Jets at Green Bay.
What do you got, Bill? I want to hear your thoughts first on this one.
Aaron Rodgers is going to throw 7 touchdown passes against the New York Jets, and Rex Ryan will cry.
I couldn't tell if you're...
I want to see him cry.
You
Maybe
really
he'll
want...
cry tears. I want to see him cry tears of cheese.
They can offer him cheese for comfort. I like how you're actually supporting the Packers for once. I don't know if you were laughing because it hurts to admit it, or because you just want to see Rex Ryan cry. Maybe both.
I want to see Rex Ryan cry. This is the thing.
You prioritize that over a Green Bay loss. I'm surprised to learn more about you, Bill.
I'm an equal opportunity.
Oh man, but yeah, Green Bay's probably gonna knock some sense into the Jets. Okay, yeah, it's as simple as that.
He won't be jumping around and celebrating.
Not this time. Not this time. Next game.
Kansas City Chiefs at Denver Broncos.
Ooh, a division match. Ah, God, this one's Denver. I want the Chiefs to put the Broncos in their place, and I want Broncos because not just because I hate the coach, I just don't like him because he used to be with the Eagles, so I have this natural born hatred. But Broncos really got it going this time.
The Broncos are just scary, and they're only gonna get better. Broncos.
They're just a stepping stone towards greatness. I feel like I've heard that from somewhere. Next game.
The Sunday night game, the Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers opening up their new stadium.
Ooh. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, God. 49ers are going to open up with a win. Clear win. They're going to be happy about this new field. They're going to enjoy it. And they're just going to use the Bears' blood as the drink. And everyone's invited to the party.
To christen the new stadium.
Yeah, we're gonna have Bear.
The field of genes will be christened with blood of the Bears.
Bear blood.
I approve of this, so therefore I'm picking the 49ers.
Oh, they're gonna enjoy it. But yes, let's go to Monday games. Oh, there's just one.
And the Monday night game, the final game, is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh, this is gonna be good. Why did they have to put it Monday night? This should be a Sunday night game too. Oh man, this one's tough. On one hand, you have the fast-paced Eagles. Oh, great. Hold on. Sorry about that. Pizza's here. So, so other thing. Okay, one hand you have the fast-paced Eagles, and the other you have Andrew Luck and at Indy, they're like the Saints. They're really good at home, and they're not as good everywhere else. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Bill, let me hear your thoughts. Your advice might help me.
I think that the Indianapolis Colts are going to come out fast-paced, and I think this is easily a track meet. I can see this game going in the 40s for each team, but
so
I think
shootout.
the Colts will have... Yeah, I think the Colts will win it in the end.
I'm starting to agree. Yeah, probably a shootout, maybe. It's either going to be a shootout or one team's just going to score way more than the other. If not, then it's going to go to overtime. So many possibilities. I think I'm going to go with the Colts. Mostly because it's domed and they like it that way.
Yep.
So,
I can see it happening.
so yeah, any last notes for these next games?
I think we're going to see a lot of close games. There could be a few upsets, but I don't see as many upsets happening as last week.
No, we didn't see those, so who knows? This could be an unorthodox season, but we thought that at the beginning of last year, so who knows?
And as a final note, we predicted a lot of road teams winning. So this is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to the Texans, the Cowboys, the Patriots, the Lions. I really hope I can watch the Lions, but I don't know. So yeah. Actually, are the Lions playing the same time as the Cowboys?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, I'm probably going to be forced to watch the Cowboys. What about the Texans?
1 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Okay, so there might be hope, but I doubt it. So yeah. I guess that's it. So I don't have many notes aside from what I've said already. So yeah, I think it's time for us to take our leave. This was a lot to talk about because so many upsets and so much about our teams and shit. But
just think of it this way: next week there'll be even more.
Oh man, we're gonna probably pass the hour mark if it goes like this. But that's what a podcast is for, Bill. Right?
Heck yeah, man.
All right, I think it's time for me to go. This pizza awaits. And yeah.
And it's warm and it's delicious and it needs to be eaten and consumed.
Yes. Anyway, yeah.
Right.
Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'm certain Bill does too.
Heck yeah.
Share us your thoughts on the games, whether they've already aired or they haven't yet. Anyway, I'll see you guys in another video. See you later, guys.
Peace.